Hey everyone, Josh here from Neighborhood Car Reviews, and I have been sent a new tech tidbit, and this is the Lamtto 3.0 11-inch car display screen. It is a smart car display screen. It is powered by Google Gemini, and we're going to unbox it and take it for a review. Alright, first things first, we're opening up the box, and the first thing we see is our user manual. It's a pretty in-depth manual, but it's pretty easy to operate. If you know how to use a cell phone, then you'll know how to use a screen. It's all powered by Android. Underneath that foam panel, you do have the display screen itself. It does have a removable screen cover on it that has a bunch of important details and a QR code and an email address for service. Underneath there, you have, you'll see that this is actually pre-mounted to its dash mount bracket, and it also has the built-in GPS, which is really, really nice. On the side, you have a bunch of different inputs. You have your aux in, you have the camera in, you have SD card, and USB Type-C. And it's also important to note that this display screen actually has a built-in microphone, which is really, really nice. So CarPlay, talking on the phone, and all that kind of stuff is seamless. Inside, you also get a bunch of different additional 3M adhesives and the wiring tool to kind of switch the wires in between trim panels. You've also got the 1080p backup camera and the wiring that goes with all of it. You have an additional circular suction cup mount for the suction cup on the dash. You have the windshield mount. It's a fully adjustable articulated bracket, and it actually works really well because that's what I'm using right now. We've also got the power cable. It's a USB Type-C with a 12-volt cigar lighter, and it has a USB Type-A through power, which is really, really nice. So here is the box and everything that is inside that box. Just a quick overview. There is a ton of stuff in here. It is also important to note that it is actually very easy to install. Now I'm going to show the installation, but this is super easy. But mine, I had the display screen beforehand, and it was already pre-installed and pre-wired, but it went out. And this one just plugged right into the existing wires, so it was a little bit easy for me. I opted to use the windshield mount because the suction cup is actually really, really good, and I didn't want to put it on the dashboard anymore. One thing I do like about it is it actually has an extension, and it also has a swivel bracket, so you can actually extend it out or put it back in, and you can also swivel it to either direction, so the driver and or passenger can have full access to it, which is really important because this does allow for access to the Google Play Store, so you can actually get on there, download like Netflix and all that kind of stuff, and if you have a Wi-Fi connection, you can actually watch videos on the road. And it does mount securely and easily to that bracket without any kind of tools or anything like that. It just snaps in place. The swivel nut then locks it in. So it's a very nicely adjustable display, and we're going to do the peel off. One of the most satisfying things there. And it's important to note that this display screen is actually really, really good. It's a 1920 by 720, and it has in-plane switching, which is also really good. Like I said before, it does have built-in GPS, which allows for, if you're out of a network, then you can still use the navigation that's built into the the display screen itself. So you don't even have to use CarPlay or Android Auto. You can just use its built-in GPS navigation and do out-of-network navigation. Now, I'm showing you this because my previous one was actually wired into the fuse panel itself in my old truck. So underneath the dashboard is a fuse panel, and I actually wired it into a 12-volt fuse, and so I have a live connection whenever the ignition is on, but whenever the ignition is turned off, I do not have power going to it. So right now we're just going to plug in the power itself, and then we're going to plug in the backup camera, and it goes into the small jack at the very top. I don't have the backup camera fully installed yet. I need to get a longer wire because it is an 8-foot bed on this old truck. So, but you'll see it starts right up. It does have an 8-core CPU, and it has a very good display on it. Very responsive, much like a cell phone. And there's a small setup that you have to go through first for region and all that, and language, and what orientation that you would like this to be in. I've selected just the defaults But setting up is very easy, and then connecting to your phone is seamless. After that, you can also connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot where you can actually access like various social medias or Netflix or anything, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, anything. You can also select various backgrounds. You can actually upload your own backgrounds or use the ones that are pre-installed for a more personalized look. It's just very configurable. And it also has Google Gemini built in as well. So if you sign in with your Gmail account or whatever, then you can actually access the Gemini AI, which is really, really nice too. I'm not a big user on Gemini, especially for this, because that's not going to be hooked up. This truck doesn't have a hotspot. There was no such thing as Wi-Fi back then when this truck was built, but you'll see me starting up by CarPlay. It goes into this initialization screen and then connects right into it. And it's just a very seamless interaction. And if you're used to CarPlay at all, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now I'm going old school, so all my audio goes in. It goes out of the 3.5 millimeter jack and into the cassette player using a cassette adapter. And that is actually the one that plugs into the top, and that is where all of my audio for CarPlay goes in. So right now, that's exactly what we're looking at, and there's more to come.